Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year! What an amazing holiday week. It was so nice to just spend extra time with the family. I didn't do any YouTube videos, so it felt kind of weird, and I feel a little off right now actually filming, because once you stop doing it, I lose that comfort. So I'm a little nervous today. I'm fighting a little cold, so bear with me, but I want to go over what sold this weekend. I did not film my what sold last week. With the holiday weekend, I was just spacing out how I was shipping everything. So instead of filming and then shipping everything, I shipped throughout like 2 or 3 days of the weekend. So I didn't save it all for one video like I normally do on Mondays. So let's dig in. I've got 21 items this sold this weekend for a gross profit of over $1,900. Two of these items I just picked up on Friday at the Amazon bins. I love my Amazon bins. I know it's going to be this honey hole that will come to an end. There's one of the managers there that they are just getting so much theft, and he was telling me that he wouldn't be surprised if they do start raising their prices. So that's going to be a bummer, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to milk this train as long as I can. And I feel like I'm yelling because this cold is right in my ear. It's weird. So I can't hear myself right now, and I feel like I'm screaming. Okay, but let's dive in. We've got a Lennox. This was a thermostat, a smart thermostat that I picked up at my local thrift store for $1. $1 for this guy, and he sold for $67. So that was a really good one to start us out with. We've got a Kindle somewhere. Here it is. I picked this up, I want to say about a month ago. I paid $10, but it took me a little while to list it. So it's been sitting in my pile. I only listed it about a week ago. It is definitely used. It's got some scuffs on it, but it's just an Amazon Kindle. It's a paperweight. Make sure that you're buying these, that they're the newer models, that they're not the one with the keyboard. They're not the one with like the side little buttons. Those older generations, they're not supported anymore. So you've got to stick with the newer generations. This is a 7th generation. It's still good. It is deregistered. Sold, or I paid $8 for it at Savers. Sold for $36. We've got Eros. I found these also at Savers, but this was Sedona. This was the weekend I went up to Sedona with my sister, and I got to hit Savers up there. I paid about $6 a piece, so right around $19 for the 3 of them, and the whole set sold for $52 free shipping. So not a huge margin, but I know those sell really fast, and they did. We've got a couple hats. We've got this Chicago Bears corduroy hat. I paid 50 cents at a yard sale. Sold for $27. Hats are just super easy. I'm going to do a little skippy-doo. I do have another hat that is Cincinnati. Same sale, 50 cents. And this one sold for $15. So when you're paying 50 cents for hats, I mean, even if they only sell for 15, 20 bucks, it's still worth it. All right, going back up. I don't like to get out of order, but we've got a Garmin. This was that church sale that I got all those inks from. So this was $5. It was a Garmin. I didn't even look it up. I know these little handheld Garmins are serious money. So I just grabbed it. It was $5. I get home. I test it. Everything's working. And this guy sold for $59. If it was like one model different, I did check a variety of different ones that are like it. And there's some that go for over $100. So definitely worth grabbing at $5. Sure, I would have liked it to be one of the bigger models, but $60, I am thrilled. And we've got some Clarks. These have dust on them. That shows how long I've had these shoes. My shoes are not selling right now, except I just reorganized my shoe rack. So I've got 2 pairs of shoes going out this weekend. It is so funny how that works. When you touch your inventory, does it sell for you? It does for me. So we reorganized my shoe rack. I got a new like 5 shelf, 7 shelf, I don't even know how many shelves, to put shoes in because my other one was collapsing. And because we had to reorganize, I have 2 pairs of shoes going out. Funny how that works. $17 is what these guys sold for, and I think I'm in it a buck or two. Honestly, I don't remember. That's how old they are. Here's a really good sale. This was Willow Tree. I'm gonna butcher this name. Creechy, Crochet. I have no idea, but it is basically a manor. It's a house for your nativity. A manor, right? Oh, manger. There we go. Okay, so it is Willow Tree. I'm not going to keep holding it. It'll be up on the screen. I paid $15 at my local thrift because it had a note on it that said it is only this piece, the Creechy, or however you say it. And I look it up online. I'm like, that's all it comes with. It doesn't come with the figures. Those are all sold separately. So this was $15 and it sold for $120. I was super happy with that one. We've got another Garmin. This guy, I paid $3 for this one. And it sold for more than the other one. This one sold for $84. So again, these handheld Garmins are always worth grabbing. Some of them are golf things. Some of them are like geo-tracking type GPSs. But any of these little handheld devices are always worth grabbing. Especially when you're finding them for $3, sold for $84. All right, one of the items from the bins this weekend, Pokemon. I couldn't believe it. It was in one of the Amazon sealed bags. I was there when it opened, when the store opened, so I was quick to run around the bins as quick as I can. And I grabbed it. I'm like, surely it's gonna be empty. I give it a 2% chance that it is still in there. So I wait probably 20-25 minutes in the pickup or the testing line, and as I'm standing there, I'm thinking like there's no chance it's going to be in there. So I get up to the window, we open it up. It's in there, my friends. It's in there. I get home and I test it. Number one, always test your video games, especially if you're buying it as an Amazon return. I get home, I've got a DS listed in my store. I popped it in and it gave me an error code. It said memory not found, restart your DS or something like that. So I'm like, okay, crap, maybe that's why it was returned. So good chance it was. But I went ahead and first thing I did was clean the little tracks. I've got some isopropyl alcohol, 97%. Put it on a Q-tip and I cleaned these little tracks. And then I put it back in the DS and it worked. So that tiny little trick, cleaning those threads, just made me $150 is what this guy sold for. So I was first shocked that it was still in there, and I knew this guy was going to be money. So $150 just listed from Friday. All right, we've got Wii Resort. This guy, I picked this up. It was a whole lot of different games. I paid $10 for a whole box of games and Wii controllers. So this was sold in kind of a little separate lot. I took the little remote covers, and they are the motion covers. I don't know if you can see that, but they have the little adapters in here so that when they plug it into their Wii remote, they can play Wii Resort, because you have to have those motion adapters or the motion remote, which they've advanced on, and it's all built in now, but at its first launch, it wasn't. So still a good find. Okay, and that sold for $45. All right, we got a camera. Before I dig into the second half here, make sure down in the description, I have a link to my free BOLO list that you're not going to want to miss. It is a list of top items, top brands to watch for in your reselling business. So if you haven't downloaded that, down in the description is a link. I usually pin it to the comments as well. So make sure you download that. All right, next item, Panasonic camera. This is one of those mini DV camcorders. Always worth grabbing. And this guy, I paid $8 is what I paid for this. I get a lot of questions on my spreadsheet. So it is a very basic Google Sheets. I like Google because you can go from computer to computer without having to have licenses to Microsoft. So this one is a Google Sheets, and it is one tab that has my active inventory, and that's where I put in the model and how much I paid for it. That's simple. So then when I'm searching, you can just Control F and find it. I just type in Panasonic and I find the one that it was. I make sure I put the model number, and it says I paid $8 for it. Then I copy it over to a tab in each tab of the month that it sells. So I just started a new tab now for for January 2024, and finished using the tab of December. So each month I just do a new tab of what sold and how much I paid for it. So quick little rundown on how I kind of keep a basic books. But this guy sold for $60. I've had it for a little while, so I think I took an offer on that. All right, item number 2 from the bins that sold within 24 hours of listing. It is a Roku station. I don't know, some kind of smart thing. You attach it to some fancy glasses and it'll stream something. I have no idea, but I was at the bins and I'm checking out. This was sitting on the counter. So I had asked her, I'm like, oh, is that for sale too? Is that also $15? Because Friday is $15. And she said, yeah, that's for sale. So I looked it up and the sell-through rate was through the roof. Through the roof. Like 3 available and 80 sold or something. Like it was really, really high. So I went ahead and I grabbed it, listed it that night, and it sold within, it was within minutes. I don't even think it made it through the night. But it's some kind of little smart streamy thing. You don't have to know what the heck it is. It's brand new, and I looked it up, see what it is, priced it accordingly, and this bad boy sold for $110. We've got an Onkyo CD player. I paid $20 for this guy. Oh, I don't remember where. I don't remember if it was in the state or where, but I've had it for a long time. Onkyo is a brand to definitely be on the lookout for. They make CD players, receivers, Blu-ray I think Blu-ray. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. But they make a lot of really high-end audio gear, video gear, and that guy sold for $115 plus shipping. We've got a Bins $3 find, a Ring battery camera. I mean, heck yeah, I'm going to grab that for $3. That sold for $26. We've got that second pair of shoes, also really dusty, but it's been in my inventory for probably over a year. Shoes are not doing good for me right now. They're not. But they're in really good condition. Danskos are known for dry rot. So do a little bendy test. Make sure that if you go try to bend it, that it doesn't split in the middle. So these are solid shoes, really good condition. They sold for $28. I think I paid maybe $6 or $7 for them, but I'm just happy to get rid of them. We've got a camera that sold within minutes of listing. Not this one. Where is it? This one. I got this. What did I pay for this? All right, this was $3 at Savers. $3 for this little guy. However, I get home and I realized that it didn't have a battery. So I had to buy a battery for it. You're always going to get your money back when you buy a battery, buy a charger. Amazon had a deal where you got the charger and 2 batteries for like $17. So I went ahead and bought that, listed it, and it sold within minutes. Again, with that sell-through rate. It was super, super high. I knew it was going to sell really fast. It sold for full asking price of $120. The comps without batteries and without chargers, they're like $60. So to double how much I'm going to make by spending an extra $17, it easily made it worth it. So my cost of good is $20, and instead of turning 3 into 60, I turned 20 into 120. Which would you choose? I would choose option 2 as well. So super clean condition. I tested it. And of course, I'm including both batteries and charger with it. We've got a Young Living diffuser. These aren't worth too much, but this tulip, I paid $1. So it's always worth grabbing when it's $1. Sold for $30. And free shipping though. We've got another DS game. And that goes to Super Mario. I paid $7 at my local thrift, and it only sold for $22.87. I think it was running one of my promotions, and that's why they got it so cheap. So I can't leave these behind at a thrift store. I mean, yeah, it was $7, so the margins weren't huge, but I mean, for $7, I have to grab it. And it's complete. It has the game, it has the manual. Somebody's going to be happy with that. All right, we got two more. We've got this Craftsman charger. I paid $4 at my local thrift. Sold for 35 bucks. Super fast. And the best sale of the weekend goes to this speaker. I don't know if I'm going to be able to lift it. Ooh, I'm not going to. So, luckily I'm short, so you're going to get the full thing. It is a monitor audio. It is heavy. That's your number one rule to know if it's quality. It's heavy. The back also shows quality. Ugh. If you look at the clips down here, they look really expensive. So I knew this guy was going to be money. I looked up monitor audio, and it's an SB2. And I'm like, I know it's big. I know it's going to be a pain in the butt to ship, but I've got to grab this guy. I think it was 10 or 20 bucks. It really was not a lot. I didn't put it in my spreadsheet, and I took the price tag off, and they don't have any mark on it. So I want to say it was like 20 bucks. It was so cheap. I just had to have it. And it sold for full asking price of $400. Yes, it's going to be a pain in the butt to ship. I'm not going to lie. I may end up taking a couple boxes and kind of Frankenboxing. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but lots of boxes, lots of packing paper, lots of bubble wrap. I mean, anything is shippable. You just got to find the right box. So, this is going to be the hardest thing for me to ship for the weekend, but that doesn't scare me. Hey friends, good morning. I wanted to do this quick insert real quick. It is now Monday morning. No, it's not. It is Tuesday morning, January 2nd. And I had one more thing sell overnight, so I wanted to show that. But more importantly, I wanted to tell you how I packaged up that speaker. I know I left you with a complete cliffhanger and just saying, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Best of luck. So I did not film it because we looked like, I don't know, a bunch of wildebeests trying to package this thing. So it was not a pretty sight watching us box it, but I want to tell you how I did it. So first, real quick, the other sale for the weekend was this Elecom mouse. It is a mouse used for, I got it taped closed, a mouse used for presenting. So it's got a little trackball on it, and I bought it, I want to say it was $5 a day at the bins. It was either 3 or 5. And I know why it was left behind, because the trackball is crushed. It is completely cracked. It looks awful. I didn't notice that at the bins. So luckily it's still sold. I made my money back. It sold for 18 bucks. So always double check your products before you buy it. Hopefully you buy it right. You don't overpay for it, so you can still get out of it without losing money. So I'm happy I didn't lose anything. I'm just bummed it wasn't the $50 that it would have been worth. All right, the speaker. As you saw in the clips from yesterday, earlier in this video, it was a very large, very heavy speaker. So, recycled. 100%. All of these materials are recycled. My father-in-law buys a lot of long stuff. Like, he does a lot of photography, so a lot of photography boxes are just long sticks because it pops out to lights, it pops out to flashes, it pops out to whatever else you use in photography land. So if you have a way of reaching out to other photographers, whether it's a photography store maybe in your area, to recycle some of their boxes, these are the kind of boxes you want. So I started with the speaker. I took some high density foam that I had just lying around, and I put it on the two most delicate ends, the end that has the actual speaker and the back that has all the ports. So those have a good layer of solid foam. Then I took cardboard. So I had just a giant Amazon box that I had pieced out. I was using pieces for records. I was using pieces for other Frankenbox type stuff, but I still had a large piece of that cardboard. So it's just an Amazon box that I cut apart. We completely created a wrap out of that cardboard. So we laid the speaker down on the cardboard and completely wrapped it. I cut the ends so that I can fold them in, and I pretty much made a solid box around that speaker. So when it goes into here, it is box in a box. That is the goal. You want to protect it as much as you can. So it was solid in that box, but there's no way I'm going to ship it just in that. So then I took those, these are the boxes that my father-in-law had for gear. I got to cover up, of course, my labels, but we just put it in here. On the bottom, I do have some more foam to catch the weight, because it's going to sit, oh, get my arm work. It's going to sit like this when it's going through, well, hopefully when it's getting delivered. So the most weight is going to be at the bottom. So I did put more foam down there. And I just taped the ever-living stuff out of it. This speaker sold for $400. So if I spend $5 on a roll of tape, I'm not worried. I would rather get this there safe. So I taped all the edges really, really well. I went down some seams. I went around some middles. I used a lot of tape. So don't be afraid to use tape. And my number one favorite thing is using recycled materials. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, my friends, I hope you learned something. I hope there's something here that you now watch for on your eBay reselling business. And again, grab that BOLO list down below if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And I will see you guys on the next video. Happy New Year and have a fabulous week. Thanks for watching.